Hey everybody, this tea time with the Diva. Grab your tea, grab your coffee, because we're gonna get into it. This tea time is dedicated to Diddy. And listen, we thought the trial was a lot. Prepare yourself for the upcoming weeks of all of these ex-workers coming out and speaking out. So now we're hearing from one of the workers, and his name is Don. And Don wants us to know that these sessions that they talked about were not what people think they were. He said it was a lot of talking, a lot of eating, a lot of smoking, a lot of Diddy directing stuff like it was a movie. And he said very little episodes of them actually getting physical. Let me share a screen so we could get more into this story. So, an escort opens up about the Diddy freak-offs and why sex was in very short increments. Remember, they told us during the trial that this was just marathons and marathons of them having relations and days on, days on, days on. Well, he's saying that is not the case. There was probably 10 to 12 minutes worth of actual sex over 8 or 9 hours. The escort identified as Don said in an exclusive interview with People. A male escort allegedly hired by Sean Diddy Combs is speaking out for the first time, revealing intimate details about the music mogul's so-called freak-offs. In an exclusive interview with People, the escort and model, identified during the trial as Dawn, claimed that S activity he participated in during the freak-offs was typically brief. He said it was often interrupted by Combs 55 when Combs thought things were moving too quickly. Whenever activity would occur, it would always be in maybe 30 seconds to 1 minute increments, Dawn tells People. The interview took place days before Combs' conviction on two Mann Act related charges on Wednesday, July 2nd. Combs was acquitted of the more serious charges he faced. Dawn also says that Combs first hired him on Valentine's Day 2016 for an evening with Combs' ex-girlfriend Cassandra Cassie Ventura, now 38. He claimed he met the former couple 2 or 3 times in total. Combs' attorneys did not immediately respond to People's request for a comment on Wednesday. Listen, this is the beginning to no end to me, but this would be me. First of all, I wouldn't be involved in these particular activities as such, but if I were, I would be laying low and remaining quiet because I just wouldn't want my brand and my name connected to it. And I would just want to keep my business, my business, so to speak. Even though they got his picture in as an exhibit in this case, that is how it would have to remain, but it would not be me coming out saying anything. Combs allegedly hired him several more times, beginning in 2021. That time for encounters with one of the rapper's subsequent girlfriends, a woman who testified under the pseudonym Jane during Combs' trial. According to Don, Diddy hired him for the last time in 2024. Now, I did hear before he got arrested that he was still having freak offs. And to me, that is totally insane. But, when someone has addictions, they have addictions. But the minute they would have raided my home, if I was Diddy, I would have been in rehab up until the day that they arrested me. But that's me. Referring to his experience with Jane, which she referred to as hotel nights, Don tells People in the moment we would kiss. Combs would be like, okay, all right, you go stand back over there and you go over there. Okay, so did you like that kiss? What did you like about it? Tell him what you liked about it. Tell her what you liked about it. Don says he never had any type of real prolonged activity with Jane during the hotel nights. They would have relations and I would be off to the side, Don says. Speaking on the variety of his activity with Jane, Don tells People, I couldn't imagine it being satisfying too much for any of us because it wasn't a long period of time. So imagine you get $5,000 for these brief interactions. For the escorts, it wasn't a bad deal. He said both Jane and Ventura have accused Combs of coercing them to have sex with multiple male escorts throughout the course of their respective relationships with him, which was the basis of the trafficking charges against Combs. The jury ultimately found Combs not guilty on those charges. Jane testified that Dawn was the first escort she had relations with during her 3-year relationship with Combs. Dawn recalls it was always, okay, kiss her neck, kiss her breast, okay, now go over there, okay, you ready for sex, you ready for sex, and then, okay, wait, stop, 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 okay, now you go over there, you go over there, what did you like about that? Okay, now we're going to smoke, we're going to order some food. Combs would interject if he felt that Jane would kind of rush into something sexual when she was maybe wanting to kiss too quickly or to touch too quickly or to engage in activity too quickly, Dawn claims. He would say, wait, 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 no, you guys relax, and kind of break it up, Dawn says. Dawn also recalled Combs saying, okay, let's dial it back. You're too much. We don't got no place to be. Dawn, you got someplace to be? No, you got someplace to be? Okay, let's let this thing flow. That is him. Combs behaved similarly during encounters with Ventura, Dawn says. Sometimes we would joke too much and he would be like, hey, y'all losing the moment. Dawn claims Combs told him and Ventura. As with Jane, Combs and Ventura would allegedly engage in activities in front of Dawn, while any sexual contact Dawn had with Ventura was limited to 30 seconds to maybe 1 minute, Dawn says. He would always be like, okay, wait, okay, break, 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 Dawn claims. In the whole night of being there, 8 or 9 hours altogether, sexual contact, there's probably 10 to 12 minutes worth of actual sex, he continues. And this was broken up so many points throughout the night. And that's including touching. That's including everything. Listen, I said before, and people wanted to beat me with a stick, that there's no way humanly possible that for hours upon hours straight in one night that you could just be, having relations throughout the whole time and also be extremely high on substances. It's just not possible, right? But when they put the salacious stuff out there, people just roll with it and believe it. And so I wonder why they didn't have him on the stand, but they probably didn't have him on the stand. They probably just identified him as one of the people, because if he would have got on the stand and said this, it wouldn't have been so salacious and outrageous as the prosecutors wanted these sessions to be. Listen, people, chat with me in the comments, and when I get an opportunity, I will chat back. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. Everybody, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts about this escort Dawn saying it wasn't all that it was cracked up to be from what y'all heard. Thank you, guys. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button, and I'll see you in the next video.